In a tale of two halves, this elimination game does press forward as we see the conclusion of the first map of Cash going in the way of Valiance. That's right, a 16-13 score line, and T-sides were the storyline here to catch up on. Most of the firepower really being shown there, and the firepower that I've got here is one that you don't want to mess with. I've got Chad Burchill and Yona Lepinen, and we're going to be making some sense of this whole thing. Did I get it?
We keep the gun.
Pretty close, pretty close.
Yeah.
I'll give you a pass on that one because it is hard. I'll give you that.
Yona Lepinen.
Yona
God damn it.
Lepinen.
See, no one's pronouncing that.
Might as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Might as well end the
That's
whole
why I
thing.
gave you a pass.
down.
That's why I gave you a pass.
It's
Anyway.
done. Roll back the caches.
Here's the situation. I actually think that Vitality messed up in picking which side they wanted to start on. I think if they decided to start on the T side here, they could have got the ball rolling and taken advantage of those individual plays and tilt Valiance off the face of the earth. Instead, they started the CT side and they got reset time and time again, and it was so difficult to get the economy going just based off that Valiance approach.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a case to be made about starting T side. You know, first game, well, the only game of the day, right? Too.
Right.
So, in the same token, you have to say that Valiance is really on point with the way they started off their T side. They were changing pace effectively. It was almost like we were watching the game against Enstone Dust2 yesterday.
Sure.
Honestly, I mean, very straightforward. No many too quirky moves. Instead, they were really early on the bomb sites. A lot of the times we were discussing in the green room, there were situations where they were on them, at like minute 30. So, yeah, it's hard to play against. And obviously, Cash, the map that is T favorite as well. So, putting those together, still great effort from Vitality to come back. I think in the picture of this whole series, that is very, very important for them going forward.
Yeah, and what is very important at this point is making some sense of some of the things that we saw here. We actually have a clip, and we can kind of take a look at it big picture-wise.
So the approach that Ro2a was alluding to yesterday, that very direct and aggressive approach, we saw that earlier. This is round number 5. You can see how quickly they're all heading over towards that A bomb site. They set up a very nice execute behind the smokes and protocols of Vitality, and they pounce. What you're going to notice here is how direct it is into the bomb site. They don't want to smoke off the quad player. They want to kill him. They want to smoke off the forklift player and the highway player, isolate the one player on the bomb site, and you see these guys. You can see when the camera angle is about to change. They posture for jewels. They're in no rush to get that bomb down. They know you're going to push. They know you need to make a play, and that's the way that Valiance like it. They like to take the fights, and if you're going to offer them to them, they're going to take it. After this, and as the game progressed, we saw the pace slow down. They did a few more like defaulty rounds, and you were using your utility a lot earlier. You were going for aggressive plays to make sure they weren't going for those direct approaches 30 seconds into a round, and that's exactly what we saw against ENCE yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the hard part is that it's happening so early on. So a lot of CT halves or CT teams have these protocols for, when certain smokes or things are happening, you'll have a counter flash so that you have that right moment in time as the execute is happening, and all the Ts would be blind, and then that would give you an opportunity to try and basically stop the push, right? But when it's happening so early on, you're not ready for it. So essentially what you would have to do as a CT, you kind of start off by playing a retake. You're not just occupying the side at all, kind of let the Ts have it, and then if you have all the nades left, right, it's still a bomb side that's easily retakeable. Yes. And once you've done it time and time again, you'll find ways to make it happen, sometimes even relatively easily. So, yeah, definitely a tough one for Vitality to try and hold that bomb side as it was.
And an 11-4 first half definitely didn't make it any easier on themselves.
Well, the fact of the matter is they went on to win the pistol in the second and then lost a really, really dumb round.
Run it all the way to 14-13.
I mean, I think dumb is a bit of an understatement there, Chad.
You think dumb's an understatement?
Yeah,
it was a
considering
bad.
what happened, right?
It was a bad anti-eco considering the force buy came in, and you know that the way that Valiance approach it, right? You know that they're going to force buy, and the thing is, they attacked both bomb sites late in the round, pushing through smokes in 2 different. If they'd won that, they could have potentially won the map. I know we're talking about ifs and buts, and that's not really the realms of what we're dealing with. Valiance still had to win the round, but it was just a bad approach by Vitality.
But, I mean, you did make a very good point there, and it was something that we talked about in the green room, is starting perhaps on the T side in the first map of the day. But in this instance, they're going to be able to brush off that dust and head over to Dust2, because that's going to be the second map of this series. Now, bottom tis, save all the good punchlines, all the good jokes. The reality is here that the pressure is on for Vitality.
Well, look, definitely so, and it appears that they, as I'm in the server right now, I can see that they want to be starting on the CT side. Valiance get the choice. Valiance get the choice right now. It looks like they want to start on the CT side, which I'm a little bit curious of because Vitality actually had a better CT side when they played their earlier matches on Dust2, but the thing was, they could also be exploited over towards that B bomb side. MBK and RPK were struggling to hold that, so I feel that the individual style of Valiance could have just really pummeled them there, right?
Yeah, and for the fact that we've seen Valiance being a team that they're like anti-strat, they try to play kind of off of what the opposition likes to do, and then we see the fact that, as we saw yesterday on Dust2, there are individuals on this team that can basically just stop a push on their own. You have your Hunter, for example. Yeah. He had a massive game on Dust2, so that's the scariest prospect. I feel like Dust2 is a map that's wide open, so it's going to be tough.
And this could be that player, as we saw yesterday, that he could really turn the tide of the entire game itself, maybe take it into his own hands. I mean, he does have that Kovac blood, so it's very much a reality. And of course, I need to ask you, Chad, and Ro2a, where are we feeling? Does it end here? Do we go to a third map?
The comeback's a positive sign for Vitality to get into this, but it's just going to depend how sloppy their T side is. I think they need a more direct approach and really make sure they're trading, not allowing the multi-kill potential of Valiance to shine through.
Yeah, no, there's definitely 2-0 potential here, but I still have faith in Vitality on this one.
Yeah, you got to think that veterancy is going to come out at some point and make 2 and 2 equal 4, which is what we're doing right now. Is we add another 2, and that's going to make, I guess, a 4, including my analysts, some Alabama math in there. Anyway, look, it's time to get into this next map. We're going to Dust2. It's going to be Harry and Hugo bringing it to you. So let's get right down to it.
Yes, thank you very much, Trace. Here's some quick maths for you. Currently, it is going to be Valiance sitting 1-0 up in this series after picking up their map pick of Cash 16-13. And that means now for Vitality, they're going to have to really fight tooth and nail here on Dust2 if they want to long this one out and take us through to Inferno. Let's not forget, the loser of this best of 3, they say bye-bye to that major dream. They say goodbye to Katowice. They will be going home. So Valiance over on that CT side. Nexa already posted up at long, is in with the first, and it's a bit of an awkward fight. Him and Otto combining for 3 between them. Bomb drop back in T-spawn, and well, in the opening 20 seconds of this round, it's all fallen onto RPK and MBK to try and do the impossible in a 2v5.
About as bad as it gets here for Abyssal. This is not how Vitality wanted to start. And MBK not convinced on the corner check. Nexa will be able to get back and throw in a smoke as well. It's actually a decoy. Oh no, it is a smoke, not a decoy. Still getting the kill is MBK. Keeping this round alive for his team. He actually dropped the bomb back, so has to go and retrieve that. He will group up with RPK. But look at the cat push from Valiance. They're willing to take control back of this portion of the map, and RPK solo walking to his death. That bomb was left back for him by MBK, who rerouted to middle instead. And, well, they don't know he's here just yet. There's the spot from Hunter. There's the information gained. Now they can just start swarming on him. Moths to a flame as MBK looks to put this fire out. But he's still got 3 more to get and an ace to find.
Real issue here is Letty all the way back in T-spawn. That's the easiest kill of his life. MBK just meandering up through mid, trying to go quietly, trying to sneak up, anticipating that the majority of those Valiance players would have been sat on the bomb. Certainly didn't read into the fact that Letty would have gone so aggressive and pushed all the way into T-spawn. So pistol round locked in for Valiance. So they look to try and get off to a good start here on Dust2. You think back, obviously we've spoke about it quite a lot, but the last time these guys played on this map, Vitality 16-5, and they made it look incredibly easy. That was a breeze for Vitality, and they really need to turn back to that form now more than ever. Eliminations on the line. MBK, he's got the scout in this round. He's going to be aggressing down through short. Esperanto's looking a bit desperanto for a couple of frags over towards a short position. He has shut down Zywa. That's $600 made. And that nade going to go ahead and follow up with a bit more chip damage onto Apex. Already Vitality, they are sent packing out from mid. Hunter managing to mop up both players over in the tunnels. And that leaves Alex thrust into a 1v4. Don't fancy his chances here. Key thing for Valiance, they've kept it pretty clean. They farmed up some extra cash over on Otto and Hunter. And that's pretty big for Otto because he's looking to try and bring that AWP out. You can bet that he's going to want to go toe-to-toe with Zywa as soon as he can, because Zywa was the real driving force for Vitality on this map when they won it versus Valiance last time around.
Got to give it some time though. Still Alex trying to get into this B side, but we've got the rotates back in. Valiance did give up B to fight middle, but now realise they don't want to give away a bomb plant, so they will regain control and fight towards the tunnel. Alex is dead, and there it is. Valiance 2-0 start. Vitality now coming in with the early buy. There will be limitations. MBK is only on 3350, so far from pitch perfect, but let's see how they choose to disperse this cash. Very scary to think that Vitality are up against elimination here in the minor, leaving G2 to be the only French representation over in that major. Definitely not what most people expected, considering Mousesports and Optic were eliminated earlier on in this event as well. Some people thought Vitality surely a free spot, but they've got to earn it here, Harry, as they try and fight out through long. The Molotov cuts them off from a retreat, but instead it will be Valiance to give up control. Nexa falls back to the site. Vitality do have long at least, and they can position a player in the pit, post them up even if they don't want to commit towards the safe site. Such a powerful position, especially when Valiance are running this SMG round with the AWP that is reigning supreme on long. Dry peaks to their death as two men go out. And just like that, 5-on-3.
Yeah, and a really important thing to note there, by the way, Vitality, not sure if you quite caught it, but you would have. Top left of your screen as we kind of switched to that camera at long, you saw there was a missed smoke. Now, had they held on to that, suddenly you have the option to smoke off the cross. You deny Ro2a a bit of vision inside of the bomb site, but instead, they're forced to peek that long angle dry, and we saw exactly what happened when they tried that. That's 3 kills for Ro2a, and now they turn their attention towards this B bomb site, but there's still plenty here for Valiance. That smoke delays the push even further. They're looking to try and boost on over the top to try and spot something, and ZywOo, I believe he did just see Hunter get into this position. Letney has to bail him out now, and instead, Hunter's been fed to the wolves. ZywOo double entry. The man who was the star for Vitality last time on this map, getting off to a big start in this round as he's somehow locked down the B bomb site, but the bomb plot is denied by Nexa in the window, being a nuisance. ZywOo now trying to bait the peek on in, and how much is that Nexa in the window? He's ready to go peeking on through, but the bomb's stuck this time around. So Valiance on the clock, and ZywOo in with 4. He's making this round more than possible. He gets the ace, and my goodness, he might have been quiet on Cash, but he's roared to life here on Dust2.
Doesn't even need the AWP, Harry. What a recovery round from, well, I was going to say Vitality, but more so ZywOo on his own. A 5-on-3, the instant long control lost, and they just run into the B site. ZywOo getting every single frag. That is a great way to start off your T side, and considering that, as we've already mentioned, the elimination on the line, Vitality, they need every round they can get, so they can't afford to give Valiance these bonus rounds, let them get away when they have a weaker buy. But either way, it's still the rebuy coming out from Valiance, who did run SMGs in that previous. The only lackluster thing is the AWP. They will still have one on Hunter in this round, but what a performance from ZywOo. And definitely a good start as well. I mean, confidence really does make a big difference when you've got a player this inexperienced in terms of, you know, playing at these large events, playing on these big stages. So yeah, ZywOo starting off with an ace now. Valiance definitely have to be worried. The AWP is out for Hunter, but there's a few bits and pieces missing here for Valiance in terms of the buy. They don't even have a single smoke.
Hunter's dotting this AWP over at B, and MBK certainly was not prepared just for that dry peek in. No flash, no smoke, nothing to indicate that Valiance were going to attempt that, so MBK gets caught trying to take that peek on in. And already, this man advantage secured now leaves Vitality under pressure once more. But we've already seen ZywOo, when he was feeling the pressure in the last round, he rose to the occasion, he stepped up and answered back when Vitality needed him to the most. And now we have to see that happen once again. They're setting up for this B play, and right now, Letney, he's going to get dispatched of in through that smoke. Apex there to pick it up. Hunter comes rotating in, and RPK just going to go ahead and guillotine him as he attempts to entry in from the window. The flash blinds him, forces him off the angle and into the bomb site, and for the rest of Valiance, this save call's got to come through. Vitality will be securing this second round.
Worst part is that AWP got dropped within the B bomb site, so they can't even pick it back up. It's now under the possession of Vitality. Otto holding for the exit down lower. Alex did miss that cross because he's holding a tighter angle. And a cleanish round so far for Vitality with only one casualty. If Alex exits through the T-spawn, he will not die either. So Vitality playing things safe, not wanting to give guns away to Valiance when they know that this was definitely not the best of buys, at least for the CT side. So 2-2 equaled up by Vitality, and we do remember back to that game versus North, Harry, where it was just B take after B take for Vitality. You could very much see Hunter was ready for it after that previous round, hence why he went for the early pick, but I assume Vitality knew he was going to rotate off there, not wanting to run the double B the entirety of that round, and in fact that was the case. He'd gone back towards middle. It's just unfortunate Letney got picked there trying to fight over the top of the smoke, and Oh, it is going to be the eco coming through for Valiance. They've got to rely on this one rifle of Nexa and the single SMG on Esperanto to find anything here. Whereas Vitality, they're armed to the teeth and looking to take a bite out of Valiance on this A site. Already a fast play-up Cat. MBK flashing himself through. Nexa's blind, he's got to get off the angle, but he can re-peek in. In the meantime, Apex is running out middle, and he's found himself a double. MBK winning his duel with the one rifle for Valiance. And blink and you miss it, it's down to the 1-on-5.
Yeah, Hunter, I mean, as good as he's been, there is just physically no hope for you here. He's in a 1v5. That gives us a bit of time there to focus on a few other talking points that I think it is worth bringing up. So, you know, if you're looking at this in your Valiance, one silver lining you can at least look to, right, is even if you couldn't necessarily find the strat, find the tactics that matched up against Vitality on this map, you have a fantastic case study to look to in their matchup versus North just the other day. If you recall, when Vitality switched on over to the CT side, it was that B bomb site that was a real problem for them. We saw North exploit that a whole bunch. So I'm curious to see how that affects Valiance playing things over on the T side this time around as well. Similarly, Vitality, they loved a bit of B when they matched up versus Valiance on this last time around. You can see how they've already been a bit conditioned to stack towards this portion of the map early on. I do think it's very interesting. Valiance being a team that showed that they're very, very keen on doing their research, doing their homework. There's certainly an abundance of information to go off of on Vitality on this map, because it has become, you know, I don't want to say necessarily a signature map, but it's one that Vitality very, very proficient on. They love picking it up. That makes sense. Dust2, bit of an AWP's paradise, so it does allow ZywOo to just come into his own. Already in this round, ZywOo's dished out some damage. He's tagged down Esperanto on that cross, and that should have been called in this. Didn't actually spot if they threw that smoke down in the beginning.
Even if they did, there's 3 players here on B, so Valiant's so prepared for a potential B play from Vitality. And even getting tagged early on the molly. Oh, that will kill him if they don't smoke it out, but the smoke is there, and he is going to be saved by it. Vitality, they know they've put a lot of pressure on B. They forced out utility. They may even be aware, as you said, of that cross shot connecting. And so B really is looking like a good decision right now, apart from the fact that it's very heavily stacked with 4 players on this side of the map. Otto flashed off of middle with the orb. Vitality maybe wanting to avoid this for the time being. Apex walks up through short. We still have Alex holding on to the exterior of long as well. So Vitality are looking to put pressure on A, but with this tunnels control still held and the bomb back down in middle, it wouldn't surprise me to see another one of these A fakes where they eventually resort back into a B tunnel split through middle. Yet to be confirmed by Vitality, but smokes are being set up on that A site. Now with the pressure being put through mid as well, 30 seconds left, they've got to make a choice.
Oh, and Hunter crossing into CT. That there means that he's now trapped on the other side of this smoke. That 3-man hold that was once present over at B no longer exists, and Hunter, he's completely locked out of it. He's trapped down in mid. That means all the pressure falls onto Letney, and oh my, ZywOo's in the air, and he's still finding kills. My goodness. Well, he's going to be feeling pretty great now. ZywOo gets himself an ace in their first buy round, jumping Deeg just to go ahead and build up confidence even more. And if there's one man on this team you don't want to let get comfortable on Dust2, it is ZywOo.
Yeah, I think the whole of Vitality comfortable in this round. They are chasing for these kills. Look how hungry they are, wanting to take away the guns from Valiance. Otto considers a repeat there, but you can tell it's just not the best choice. You want the gun for the next round. This one's done, this one's lost. Vitality have money whether you like it or not. Hunter, he's definitely going to be checked here. Might be able to get himself one, but not even that. It's just ZywOo taking him down with the deagle again. And now Otto being pressured from so many positions. He's got to win both of these duels here, or at least try and stay alive, but shots missed, pistol out, MBK will finish him off. And it's another round for Vitality. No survivors left alive here for the likes of Valiance. That's going to come back and hurt them when it comes to the money. So this is a really strong start from Vitality, considering they lost the pistol and the follow-up. Since then, it's been smooth sailing for the French. And everyone's just looking a lot better individually in terms of, you know, taking these confident duels and not shying away from them. Something that was a bit of a problem back on Cash, right? They had to pull the huge comeback there. Still lost out at the end of it. Pistols here for Valiance, and Vitality already fast into middle. MBK's got to be careful. There is a man on the corner. The flashbang's there, but it won't fully blind him. The wide peek coming out from Nexa, but with no real information and doesn't want to take too much of a risk. He won't commit to that for the time being.
Well, there's that eventual peak. MBK just homing in on the angle, so there's no chance for Nexa there. No love for Nexa up on short. Instead, he finds a 7.62 round to the chest, and that'll be him dropped from the equation. And this goes from bad to worse for Valiance in this partial investment round. That B bomb site open once more. Vitality, they feel right at home in here. They've started planning the furnishings. They've started rearranging the furniture, painting the walls. This is their property now. Valiance, they've got no one inside of the bomb site. Letney is waiting down near the window. Ooh. Oh, that's gonna hurt. And yeah, can Letney get anything done? You really don't imagine so. That Molotov holds it back. Apex actually goes peeking through the Molotov, maybe trying to catch a player off guard by surprise. Certainly did surprise Letney, but sadly that element of surprise was not enough. Regardless, going to be a 5th round on the board for the Frenchman. As once more, this B-bomb site yields fruit.
Vitality have a sweet tooth here. It's a bit of a chase again. 2 more players holding on to guns for Valiance, but minimal. They're waiting for that next round buy anyway, so it's not really too much of a problem whether they save this or not. It would be nice to have the armor just to cheapen the purchase into the follow-up round, but Vitality keep 4 alive. They run towards the CT spawn, so the bomb is no longer a problem. And 5-2 start, keeping things up. Second tactical pause called out from the likes of Valiance. Chance for them to mull things over, try and work out how to approach this upcoming round.
One of the points that I've been most excited about was this Inferno Decider. And the reason why I hope that we get there is because this now becomes a very interesting series. If it goes 1-1, one of the things you'll note, that you should remember, is Alex, formerly, IGLing over on LDLC, they weren't really a team known for their Inferno. They didn't really play it all too much. And so his inexperience there did show actually on the first day when Vitality opted to play that map. MBK went on to speak about it later on in interviews, saying that that's something they've been trying to work on, but they still haven't necessarily found where he slots in picture perfect yet. It was a map they elected to ban the other day for that exact reason. So it's interesting to me that it slips through as map number 3, and I think that is really where we start to have a game on our hands. In this round, though, double AWP between Letney and Otto. Letney once again giving up B and does go peeking on in. Sad for him, Apex has already reared on out from the tunnels, picked up that first man, and once more the B bomb site is split wide open. Nobody here for Valiance inside of the site. Esperanto trying to do what he can from the doors. But he does not want to go down, because a 3v4, that becomes almost damn near impossible for Valiance. He goes pushing in, and at this point, I think if you're Valiance, you just want to kind of turn your head, maybe to consider saving. Try and spot and see if you can catch someone on the cross, find something within the initial opening segments of this retake, and as these kills don't come through, it paints a grimmer and grimmer picture for this CT side in this round.
Yeah, Esperanto going for a ballsy play there with a flashbang. We needed a hero, so fair enough for him to try it, but it's not going to be enough to allow Valiance back into this round. You can see they're still staying around to look for exit kills, but they're not going to be committing to the retake here. Unfortunate for Valiance. I mean, think about how many saves they pulled in on the CT side of Cash when Vitality were coming back into that game. Yeah, okay, it's great for getting these full buys and then having every round be winnable somewhat, but you can't do this all too often.
I think as well, you look at Esperanto there and you say to yourself, he has to get one if he's going to go for this. And then when he doesn't, as you say, they needed a hero. But they're in a very, very awkward spot. They know that if he just waits around outside and they try and take that on a 4-on-4, because Vitality have just walked into B and not expended any utility, they are going to have 4 players fully kitted in that post plant. It's bad enough, right? If you think about it, if you have like a Molotov and a smoke still in play, they had 4 of everything. So from that point on in, they knew that they had to try and take him out of advantage. They had to try and make a big play. That never materialized, and as a result, we see Vitality sitting comfortably in the lead right now.
Fast a long approach here from Valiance. They have got the guns out with Otto on the AWP. But Vitality not willing to take that early fight themselves, so we won't be having the spawn for it at least. He's just watching the top of middle once again, making sure Valiance don't try and go for any aggro play here. Boost up in that CT spawn to cut off a mid to B play. This is a good call from Valiance, considering how much Vitality have been going B. At least having that mid portion of the map with a bit of a surprising position. Otto's even there with the AWP as well, so if he can get an opening kill, that would be fantastic, but only a tag onto Apex, putting him down to 20. Not quite the frag you would have hoped for. We'll just double back towards EA site, but in the meantime, Vitality, they're up on Catwalk, so Otto's aggression here, his re-aggression up on Cat might be a very good decision. He's finished off what he started. Apex going down. Vitality commit towards his A site as well. There's not only a man in the pit to cover off long, but also Otto who can play the car, cover the short position. No one in the tunnels here for Vitality, so if they do want to go back towards B, they have to reaffirm control towards there. But for now, it's looking like another A execute. Valiance very heavily set up on the other side.
Yeah, Vitality, as they get ready for this A bomb site, not one that they've really elected to go to. It's a bit of a brave new world for them. Let's hope for Vitality it doesn't follow the same sort of dystopian reality. They start to creep on in, and things are not as they seem here. Two players grouped up over on the ramp. That's Otto and Esperanto trying to fight back to back, but they're both flashed, and they have to try and play together. Esperanto over the trade. He falls. Hunter's up on the ramp. Manages one. The bomb's down, and RPK bailing out ZywOo. Such an important kill to pick up. And that is just Letney left standing, this lone B player. Vitality, they know that he's been the man on B because they've been fragging him every single round. It's just a matter of where is he creeping on in from. Hasn't made a drop of noise just yet. There's the first man found. RPK, the trade king, cementing that 7th round on the board for Vitality. It comes down to the 1v1. Definitely not as comfortable as their B-bomb site takes, but still, it's another round on the board, and an important one at that, because once again, I believe that's the reset onto Valiance.
Hey, a round is a round, and I mean, it's their money, yeah, getting broken once again, but it's not like Valiance have had anything since that second Harry. It's been a 7-round streak from Vitality. Yeah, oh dear, this T-side is looking wonderful for Vitality, and Valiant's certainly going to get a bit fearful of that, especially with another fast B play. We've got 4 players immediately in the tunnels. If Hunter peeks here, he's peeking to his death, and with that, they can just charge in. One more man coming through the window. ZywOo already ready for it, but it's Apex to steal the kill away. I feel like Valiance are, yeah, they need a response to this, because this is just going to keep happening round after round. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and Vitality, well, they've broken Valiance's money once again.
Ooh, and these players, they're just getting hounded down at this point. Vitality, I mean, they were all sitting on max cash almost at the end of that last round. You had 3 players on $16,000, just to give you an idea of how one-sided this has been. And like vultures to a corpse, they pick the bones of Valiance dry in that one, 8-2. The Frenchman looking utterly flawless here on their T side of Dust2. For Valiance, they need to try and switch things up. Maybe we see, you know, a bit of a gimmicky round. You go ahead and maybe try and throw a smoke down close to tunnels in mid, try and send a couple of players in through lower tunnels just to deny that early presence there for Vitality, because every single time they've been allowed to get so much real estate at this B bomb site, and once more they return. It's back to basics. They know the economy of Valiance isn't going to be looking fantastic, and already ZywOo's opened up as Letney once more offers himself up to the French youngster.
I mean, they're just giving away picks at this point. Like, if you're not winning the challenges in the tunnels, there's no real point committing to the fight. Now, obviously, that allows, you know, if you don't check it at all, it allows Vitality to sneak in, and they have done that in the past. But you've got to find the fine point. You've got to find the balance there, because Valiance are peaking at the start of every round into tunnels, and every round they lose a man. So that definitely can't keep happening. Obviously, this is a pistol round, so you can afford to give this one away. But 4-on-4 with Vitality sneaking through. Hunter's playing close for contact. ZywOo's playing trade. MBK, oh, he's not ready for it. Close shot from Hunter, but the reload's going to take so long, and they're going to hound him down before he can get the clip in the gun. RPK already finding himself that frag. And while Esperanto's doing his damn best with his second deke, he's so low, and the B site's been conceded.
They have a buy in the next round anyway, so they might just try and attempt this 2v2. It's really one of the best chances they've had at a round in a very, very long while. Esperanto has done a lot of work to make something possible here for Valiance. Now we need to see if Otto and him can complete it. As that second AK's picked up, I'm curious now the temptation to save increases. Might just elect to try and keep players inside of the bomb site, but no, creeping forward from the tunnels is Otto. Molotov out to try and force Zywoo into the open. That allows Esperanto to take the peek, but he's read it well into the 1v1, and he might perish in the Molotov, but not before he clutches in that round, locking in a 9th for Vitality. 4 kills for Zywoo once more as he is just unleashed on Dust.
Yeah, he is just outperforming everyone on the server. Another AWP pick. It seems like no one can shut him down here, and even swapping out to the rifle and finding success there as well. Great work from Vitality, again proving that, you know, this is why this is their map pick. They are so well prepared coming into Dust2. Not that this is even necessarily preparation, they're just hitting their shots. They're going for these consistent B executes that have not been stopped by Valiance at all. The issue is with this map, of course, is the second you start throwing 3 players down on B, that's when you lose long. So it's always in the back of their minds that at any point Vitality could switch it up. However, they haven't needed to so far. 9 rounds to 2. Valiance back on the buy. 3 AWPs. Screw it. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, nothing's really been working, so at this point you just kind of throw, you know, the strat book out the window. The normal laws of Counter-Strike don't apply anymore. If you're Valiance, you're looking for anything. Whatever means they can to defend themselves, that's what they're going to look for. Otto, missed shot from him up on short, no issues, able to drop on back, and he does have a man here to help out. That's Nexa. You can see MBK was keen to try and capitalize on Otto being forced out of position. Vitality know that they're in the heads of Valiance at this point, but it will be denied. MBK may be getting a bit too big for his boots. Now Esperanto down here in mid. If the triple AWP round is where they find success, then I'm not too sure how long they can keep that up. That's the only worrying fact. The second you realize that if you're Vitality, you can just know that that fast play in the B bomb site, for example, just looks tempting once more. Hunter holding close over in mid. The bomb's down, he's sitting on it. Flash goes over, RPK is already up and through. He's been allowed to retrieve it, and he just walks out of there with the bomb. Fight a little goblin, he's stolen it, and he's running off into his little cave. Down into the lower tunnels he heads, looking for safety, looking for this B bomb site.
Oh, but this cross might be spotted. Alex gonna grab the AWP. That's definitely been noticed. And now Valiance, they should be somewhat aware of the possibility of a B play. Both players in the tunnels, but still only one man on the defense. He does have an AWP though, so Letney, in theory, should be able to get a 1-for-1 here. But there's so much utility for Vitality. Are they even going to go for this? 20 seconds. If they are, they need to move fast, because now that second rotate has come through. Valiance don't need to hold mid, because they know there's no split coming through with this low time. Missed shot from Letney. He only gets the tag, but Hunter lines up both. 3 rounds for Valiance. They finally get some more success, and 4 AWPs are saved, Harry. 4 AWPs. I don't think that one's purpose. But at this point, I'm not even against it.
I mean, yeah, why not? This is certainly an interesting take on a CT side from Valiance.
4 AWPs, but they still don't take the mid fight, and I don't blame them versus Zywoo. Already smoking off long, and they keep all 4 AWPs as well. They don't have the money to, you know, go, oh no, we'll pick and choose. We'll buy a rifle over that. Take what you can get at this point. It's 9-3. Bit of an execute out long here for Vitality. It's already going to force these CTs back. Otto going back towards the site. He does have the wall of smokes in front of him at least, so not going to have too much of a problem for the time being. We'll be able to get away, and so will Vitality. They give up long, they double back towards the spawn. Now there is a man already in the B tunnels in the form of MBK, but he doesn't know that Hunter's pushed all the way up, and that could be to his own demise. Hunter getting that opening kill. He's still got the support from Letney as well at the back of the site, so Valiance have 2 AWPs running on B and a 3rd in mid. Esperanto finds another pick, and things are starting to look better for the Valiance for a change.
This is just incredible. I mean, French teams are getting quad AWPed on Dust2 does seem to be a bit of a reoccurring theme, doesn't it? This must feel like some real deja vu for a couple of the Vitality guys.
Yeah, I remember back to Apex peeking middle and getting quad up by Fnatic. Never fun, but different city here. Here in Katowice. It's now happened in Cologne as well, but surely, eventually, Vitality will have a response to this. They are very aware of what's going on. They've got the money to bounce back, and now you can see them talking with the coach as well. Slow things down.
I mean, yeah, Valiance, they say like to do their homework. I wonder how far back they went. They were like, well, you know what really did work? ESL Arena 2015, I seem to remember Fnatic getting that quad up down mid. They just couldn't do anything against that. So, yeah, we'll bring in our own. They've decided to shy away from it now. They're just opting for the triple orb, which is still very unconventional, especially you think about how reliable it has been for Vitality to get this bomb down, get these bomb plants. You really don't want the triple AWP in the retake, but that hasn't mattered to Valiance. They've just been winning these fights straight up.
Yeah, it's not been getting to a post-plant situation yet. Once it does, you're very right. That's where things may get out of control. But, I mean, already 9-4, it's a bit of a comeback from Valiance. A couple of rounds in a row. They can get this to a 9-6. This is certainly recoverable. Already a strong T-side start from Vitality. The flash to middle, the cross is there, but Esperanto. Molotov is down and the shot's going to hit the player on short. Great flick. Won't catch the player behind the Xbox. Zyu now supporting with his own AWP, and Esperanto may even walk to his death here. Zyu's on the right angle, that is. Ooh. Esperanto not wanting to overstep the mark, especially already with a man advantage. He will be able to cross, but blinds himself for the process. And no info as to these two players in middle for Vitality. Zyu shoots him through the door, as you do. Letney will cut down one of the B players, and this B split getting manhandled by Valiance. We still had that close mid player ready and waiting, so Hunter winning his duel, upgrading to the AK, and solidifying a 4-on-2 means Vitality are the ones fighting up against a huge disadvantage. All right.
Oh, no. MBK and Apex Blast, they're having flashbacks now. You gotta be. You're like, no, this was our undoing the first time around it.
The issue is that this means you just basically can't sneak around any corners because you're gonna lose that fight every time. You've got to either flash or like wide peek or jiggle or do something to catch out this AWP, because if you sneak peek, you're gonna die. Look at it. Vitality love a sneak carry.
Oh, Valiance, they've just gone down to the double AWP. They've abandoned that triple AWP setup. And if it's an instant turnaround, I will... I mean, it just really is the kryptonite of this French scene. But early frag found onto Esperanto, and that's quite the man to find. He's been someone creating a decent bit of space for Valiance. Already long control going to be going the way of Vitality. Now, obviously, with the double AWPs, long, maybe not the most ideal position. They do still have plenty of smokes, plenty of Molotovs to make this play happen. You can go ahead and throw the smoke down on the cross. Opting to do that instead of the smoke down in CT. That does give no vision of these AWPers watching for the cross. Nexa only manages one, and you can see Hunter holding close to this smoke, maybe tempted to try and push on through and make a bit of a play. But Alex is posted up on car to watch for exactly that. As these smokes start to fade back and off, tries to burn Alex out of the open. That Molotov misses its mark, and that's such a shame. Had it hit, Alex would have been forced forward, and that could have been a potential means of getting back into this retake. But now, all these crossfires set up, and I mean, just look at the minimap. That's such a terrifying sight to try and retake right now. So many angles, all being watched over by the... Just too many bodies for Vitality.
Yeah, the key there was that Molotov up cat that cut off Otto's line of sight. Maybe this round would have been winnable without that, but Vitality didn't let him hold down the line from short. As a result, a fast A execute working out to find their 10th round of the half, and they will keep this lead in double digits. But we're going to see if a comeback can be drawn by Valiance to try and close this out in a 2-0, or if we will be hitting the train yard. Join us after the break to see exactly that.
A bit of an unconventional end to an otherwise very dominant half of Vitality. Valiance managing to make the quad AWP work to kickstart a 3-round consecutive comeback to pull this to a 5-10 scoreline. Much more respectable when you take into account it was, what, 9-2 in favor of Vitality at one point in time. Valiance, now that they've found a couple of rounds, now that they've built into this a bit, can they try and come back here in the second half? Or will Vitality continue to steamroll them, as we saw from the majority of their T side? Already letting these down through lower tunnels. The rest of the gang grouped up over in top mid. The smokes are plenty here, but that doesn't matter because Nex has been handed a free kill by ZywOo up on short.
Oh my god, he's so good with the P250. I actually don't understand this. We have not seen a pistol round where Nexa doesn't get 2 kills with that gun. It's unbelievable, and RPK is going to do his best to hold off this A site, but a flashbang will make him blind and open up that A site. But Valiance want nothing to do with it. They've doubled back, taking control towards the tunnels, and MBK is a solo B player, but they've got enough manpower to take him down. Surely Hunter, the first man in, and MBK will be dropped. So already Apex is left to try and recover this round. Very unrealistic to expect, considering it's a 1-on-4. Might just even opt to save this kit and the P250, go forward in another one, because Valiant, 6 rounds, the start of something new, Harry. They weren't able to close out that last round of the half, but opening up on a new page here on the T side could certainly be a recipe for success.
Yeah, certainly managing to get off on the right foot. They did manage to take the pistol in the first half, if you recall, as well, so that makes them 2 for 2 in this map. A chance to start to try and build back into this off of the bat. Great stuff from Nexa on that PT50. I mean, I've come to expect so much from him with that weapon. Like, I can't think of anyone else who I can see who could just open up rounds the way he can in these pistols with that weapon. It's unheard of. Here's the push towards B. It's a fast play, trying to take advantage of this very, it's just the eco from Vitality, so they're trying to exploit exactly that, and from here this bomb can look to go down. Hunter's just holding mid, so this should be reasonably clean round for Valiance. Gonna go 7-10 up. And one of the points I touched upon earlier was Vitality. When we saw them play versus North on this map the other day, that B bomb site was just hit over and over again and exploited. Valiance maybe looking like they want to try and repeat some of North's success in that regard.
Oh yeah, that's the funny part, right? Because Vitality was so great at entering this site on the T side, but when it came to that CT side, it was so weak, and it was almost exactly the same situation, right? A T side start for Vitality, lots of successful B executes, and then North bounce back and show them what they can do on those fast B rushes. So are we going to see Valiance try and abuse that B site? That's the big question mark going into this second half of this map. For now, it's a fast long play in the first rifle round of the half. In fact, no utility other than 3 smokes and a flashbang left up for Vitality. The smokes will be good, but they've got nothing else behind it. Ooh, lots of damage from ZywOo. And Otto, he's only on the SMG, but he's now been relegated to 3 HP. Not the start that Valiance would have wanted, but they do have long control under their hand.
Now, with long control under their belt, Valiance, the world is their oyster. They're going to get leave Esperanto posted up here. That denies this entire portion of the map away of Vitality. It used to be the case that frequently you'd see a player drop down into the pit to hold it, but Esperanto opting just to go ahead and stick around at long suggests that there won't be the A commitment. They don't want him down in that pit where he's trapped that he can't rotate off. Making noise, throws down a smoke actually at the cross, and that baits Vitality into keeping 3 players. Now a 4th, Apex starting to pull over toward the A bomb site, and I think they've realized now that this is starting to look like a ruse. It looks a little too good to be true, and MBK, he's dropped immediately as Nexa and Esperanto, they've opened up the B bomb site. ZywOo and RPK, a 2 versus 3 required from them here, and that is a very tall order indeed with no kit and no utility.
Yeah, surely undoable. ZywOo's going to creep in and look for an early kill. He does get that first frag to Hunter. Now things are looking very, very much enticing for Vitality. The double tunnel push that Letney is posted on. He won't be able to get both kills, but 1-for-1 is at least a start. ZywOo should predict that Nex is close within the site, and he has worked out. He's in the corner, winning the battle as well. No kit needed. He's got time for that defuse. And somehow Vitality get back into that round. It looked so difficult with the limitations in terms of utility and kit, but hey, nothing's undoable for ZywOo. You have 3-piece in that one, and Vitality winning out the 11th round.
And that is just unreal that they're even able to find a means of getting back into it. You know, we mentioned there was no utility left for Vitality. It was very, very hard for them to get into that bomb site. ZywOo finding a crucial kill that kickstarted the whole thing, trading off of RPK, going above and beyond there to make sure that Vitality are able to pick up that first rifle round. That's crucial. Had they lost it, there would have been no money. They would have had to have just gone for that partial buy, a little bit shabby into the next, and then suddenly, if you're Valiance, there's a very real chance that you build back into this game. They've immediately denied that momentum, the economy, the money, the way of this T side, and now we can see the result of that. There's a bit of a partial investment. Actually, they've fully gone for it. Ro2a buying up the AWP. They have the cash. They saved. That was the bonus round attempted in the round prior. Nexa does take a bit of a hit, relegated down to just a Deeg, so that he can pick up the utility alongside it as well. AWP out for Ro2a, and they're going to try and use him in the same way that Vitality used ZywOo to pry open this B bomb site. Valiance now look to do the same with their resident Finn.
Immediate Molotovs, though. Vitality not want to get a B rush to reset them this early on in the half. MBK silently climbs on top of this corner, and that's going to be good considering Apex is taking their attention away from the site. If Ro2a doesn't get this kill, then things will get very, very difficult indeed. But MBK now has to step up. Hunter lost on the entry. MBK drops off, and he's calling for the reinforcements, but they may not be needed. 2 kills on the SMG. Esperanto cuts off a mid-rotate, but Ro2a's bailed out of the B site as Esperanto just picks them up left and right. 3 kills. And somehow Valiance have salvaged this round despite losing 2 players on B. MBK's too far away from the action as that bomb is already up on the A site from long.
Yeah, for Valiance now it's just a formality. They can all just afford to pour it in towards the A bomb site. You don't imagine the odds of them hunting MBK are very, very high. He's just going to be looking to hold on to this AK inside of the B bomb site. Nex is looking a little bit curious. There's a lot of weapons over here. He's only got the Deagle. He's got the least to use, but as he picks up that FAMAS now, yeah, Valiant's just going to hold off. Actually, they're looking curious. They want to try and deny this. They understand that Vitality, their economy is going to be completely broken. This rifle, the only thing they take with them into the next round. So they want to try and deny it, and that Molotov, not going to force MBK out, so he's still got room to maneuver, but Nexa is there. MBK ultimately just too low on HP to survive that push, and that will be Valiance back with a round, seemingly from nowhere.
I think that's a worthwhile chase, and the reason being is because that's a reset round to Vitality. Now, if they save that 1AK, they have a pistol force with a single rifle, and those rounds can always get out of hand. So Valiance just remove any chance of Vitality having a real gun into this buy round. And in fact, it just forces them to P250s. They may have considered it, but now they certainly won't. It's really nothing invested from Vitality, so this just makes things easier for Valiance to get their 9th. Early nade to deny aggression, but it actually bounces a little bit too short. Knowing that it is common to have pistols close towards that corner, and that's exactly what Vitality are doing. I like the setup. 3 players committed to B. We've got the Deagle taking the attention from the window. Double car setup. Still a mid-crossfire as well. Now, I'm sure they can smoke off RPK. But either way, that's 4 players that Valiance will have to fight if they want to take this B site.
I mean, not only that, we're just 2 players keeping an eye on the top of tunnels here. If any aggression were to come through from Vitality, if they're able to win a couple of these fights and then continue to push up, there's a real risk of that bomb being discovered. Ro2a's looking to try and mitigate any risk of this round going wrong. He has successfully opened up, but that might be the red herring. Valiance now anticipating this B bomb site's getting worn down, and there we go. The penny drops as Alex is able to go ahead and pick up the trade. Ro2a now knows he has to get out of dodge. And this is the worry I was talking about. Picked up for Alex, and luckily enough, Esperanto will be there to apply the brakes to that train before it picks up too much momentum.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. You know, it seemed like they wanted to rush into the B site after 2 picks, but then realizing it was quad stacked really sent Ro2a packing. So fair play that he gets that extra kill with the P250. and actually somewhat makes the round impossible for Vitality, because Alex was already getting chased from the lower tunnels, was not able to scavenge that AWP, and Valiance do not want to give that kind of gun away, especially when it's still a single eco left for Vitality before they even have guns. And this comeback, Harry, well and truly on right now. It was a 10-5 half to Vitality. They've mustered 1 so far. Now, Economy has been a big part of that, but as they come into a full buy round with the option for that double AWP in the upcoming one, there's no more excuses. They need to shut this down early on if they want to keep their spot here and keep their chance to make it to the major. Elimination is on the line, remember, and they're a map down in this series. Fast B play from Esperanto. Flash will not catch MBK, and he finds 2 kills. That's unreal. Nex is going to try and line them up, but they're just running in one by one to their own demise. Bombs under the control of Vitality. This was a P250 round, and Letney needs to scavenge something. He needs to turn this on its head. First is connecting, second as well, but the repeat coming through, and Letney's down to 3 HP. He can't win it out. RBK surviving with just 6. And hey, we were going to say Vitality needed to win the follow-up rifle round. That's even better. They win the P250 one.
Yeah, I mean, MBK looking to try and challenge Nexa for his title as, the PT50 King. Look at this. 1 just wasn't enough for him.
Look how one by one they're going in. I mean, there's just no trading here.
No, I mean, definitely not. And it's a real bad time for Valiance to have a sort of blunder as that, maybe only anticipating they can deal with a PT50 play. It's only 1 man. How much damage can he do? Well, when you underestimate your opponent, when you give them those one-on-ones, that is what they can get away with. MBK, not a man knowing to go easy on the opposition. RPK opens up this round with an early man advantage for Vitality. They're looking to try and get back on top of things here. If they manage to pick this up, it's the reset onto Valiance, and from then on in, Vitality. The rest starts to feel a bit like a formality at that point. Oh, sneaking out here through mid. There is Alex in CT, so he could find that equalizer, and now that he does, the AWP on ZywOo over at the crossroads going to be given a little bit of ground to peek over the top of that smoke. They don't look too interested in B. They've thrown in that smoke. They've pulled off RPK from this A-bomb site. He's gone over towards Long to try and probe for some information of his own. All this pressure now going to culminate onto ZywOo. This is the man for the job. From the car, offers up that first drive-by, and you can see that stalled the approach of Valiance. How much more fuel has he got in the tank? There's Apex rallying death down range, able to go ahead and find another rotation up from this man to try and help out ZywOo, and together they lock in that 13th round. Vitality able to smite down those approaching players up on the short position. And now for Valiance, it's back to the drawing board. The only issue is, Hugo, they don't have any money.
Yeah, this is where Vitality have a very real chance of just closing out this map here and now. 13 rounds to 9. Pistols in for Valiance. They've got to just go for a cheese round, try and get some damage, try and save some guns potentially. Bomb plant would make all the difference as well. As you can see, this is still limited for Valiance. They may even have to double eco with this slight overinvestment. Actually, no, of course, 2-round loss bonus. They've got the 3rd coming up here, so it should just be fine. However, this round is not going to be fun. Apex is already lining one up in middle. Nex is getting picked off early on, and Valiant clearly unsure as to where to go right now. They've not got anything to play with. No smoke, no flash to get them into this B site. MBK has an AWP with a huge long line of sight, and he's going to be able to find Letney early on. They've got nothing to get him off this angle, so realistically, unless you're hitting a 1D, this is an unattackable B site. They will try and peer through middle for something here, but no smoke towards the CT spawn. Alex has a crossfire established with that AWP, reposition from MBK towards the door. We're relying on the Deegs to come in clutch.
And it really doesn't look like they will. This round going to be going the way of Vitality, 14-9. buy left in the tank for Valiance. They can at least take solace in the fact that that loss bonus is built up. They get the buy here. They're in with another chance. They have that tiny bit of breathing room, although it is fast running out as they start to go under the sea of death that has been Vitality on this map. One of the most intriguing things to me is I just decided to take a look at the opening duels and how they've panned out. And actually, one of the things you find is that Valiance, they've actually been faring better in a lot of these opening fights. You think to some of these rounds, they have been finding those man advantages. They're sometimes able to open things up, but the trades and the clutch plays from Vitality have just been so good.
Yeah, in terms of like big multi-kill rounds, that's definitely in Vitality's bank. Like they've been the one winning, these multi-kills, these 3Ks, these 4Ks. We've seen those aces from Ro2a as well. And Valiance, aside from that one mid-round where Esperanto pops out and catches those rotations, we've not really had any crazy multi-kills. That's going to come back to haunt them. Already a fast play out long, getting cut down by RPK, and Apex in middle is just lining them up. Valiance getting torn to shreds here in another rifle round, and it may just cost them the map with Hunter attempting to abuse his B push. His teammate of MBK going down, but he'll be able to hold on to this B site with his life, and now it is just Otto, not for long.
Map point Vitality, 15-9. Dust2 looking to go the way of the Frenchman once again, leaving them 2-0 over Valiance on this map, rather. Currently, Valiance 1-0 up in this series. Last time we saw them play, Vitality were a lot more one-sided, admittedly. That was a 16-5 affair. This one has been closer from Valiance. But even then, you kind of look at it, right? They were able to win both pistol rounds. They were able to get the conversions. On top of that, there was the kind of whole gimmicky rounds where they had the quad AWP. Since really just being on the rifles, not having that element of surprise of being able to run their quad AWP setup, things have been going back in favor of Vitality. Really do seem to have their heads screwed on here in the second map, and that was my big worry. They're looking to try and take us through to Inferno. Neither one of these teams wanting to leave the EU minor. Apex, lots of players coming his way, and he's going to be tested. Letney able to pick him up. MBK does what he can, but ultimately not going to be enough, as the trades do fall in favor of Valiance. The bomb can now look to go down, and a 3-on-3 for Vitality. They've got plenty of cash, so they can afford to take a peek into this one. And that's a nice shot from Alex. That's the ball rolling. Valiance, do they have what it takes to stop this before this retake gets underway?
Maybe the ball rolling, but it's still an uphill battle with this bomb fast ticking. We need Vitality to get into this site sooner rather than later. Still focused on the potential mid-flank that isn't coming through. Valiance want to commit to the site instead. We've got Otto playing behind the Xbox. That's a nice Molotov. Tap someone coming in for Alex, but already his teammate's been dropped. The trade is right there, and Alex is straight into the site. Otto now has to come in clutch, and he's already picked up the first. There's just no time. Alex may find all three, but it's still going to be a surviving round from Valiance. Double digits retained. And another one for this T side, but the money, Harry, they lose every player in the process. That's not going to be fun when you're facing a loss on Vitality's map pick.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Valiance, this is one of these situations where... Ooh, sorry, I just wanted to see the replay from Alex getting that shot. My goodness. But yeah, I mean, usually, the economy kind of doesn't matter at this juncture in the game because, you don't have to worry about buys in the future. The issue is Valiance had no money heading into that round, so when everybody dies, their buy here is pretty dire. You look at the utility, and they've got no smokes, one Molotov. This has to be a fast and explosive play. They can't rely on grinding this out, so they have to hope that the blistering pace is enough to catch Vitality off guard, and they're not falling for it. MBK is going to get dealt with, and actually, in the blink of an eye, this A bomb site might look right for the taking. Alex and RPK answering back. The bomb gets caught, and that leaves Hunter, the man who has been putting up numbers, the top performer of this team, at the minor, in a 1v1 up against Alex, the new kid on the block in Vitality. Hunter repositioning over towards long. Alex adamant that he's over at short, but as he clears this, he's going to set himself up nicely to keep an eye on that bomb. Now, Hunter does have a Molotov, and he's retrieving that much more utility from these deceased players over here at long.
Oh, now this is a big brain play. A ballsy move a wrap through CT potentially. He knows he still has this bomb on the site, so while he doesn't know that Hunter's picked it up, Hunter's going for the exact same play. He's getting aggressive on short to make sure Alex isn't waiting for this. Hunter's going to try and go to the B site, and he might just be able to bypass Alex. As long as he makes no noise here, Alex is wrapping back towards A. Now, if Hunter goes mid, he's dead, but it's the tunnels push that Alex will not hear. And once this bomb goes down, at least Alex will hear the noise and know it's the B site, but this is definitely not what he expected. 15 seconds, just enough time for the plant, and he might even get shot in the back.
Hunter, living up to his name, deploys his little tracking instincts, is able to sniff out the last man, and that game of cat and mouse over towards short, they just bypass one another. You understand what Alex is trying to do. He believes that the play is going to come in towards that A-bomb site. In those 1v1s, when you don't have the information, you haven't seen the other play, you do just have to hedge your bets. And in the end, he chose wrong. Who was he to know that Hunter would go so quickly towards long and then wrap in through short? Lots of confidence on Hunter to go for that sort of play as well.
I mean, he had the read, right? He'd already cleared out long, and once he got to the site and got the bomb for free, he knew that short was clear, right? Because he'd already pushed it. And at that point, you can decipher, okay, if he's actually trying to play the A site, he has to be CT. That's the only position close by, unless he's on his own wrap from long, right? So those are the only two options left, and Hunter knew that B was the best possible option for him. Either he catches the timing where Alex is flanking his own long position, or he sneaks past him when he's in CT spawn. So, yeah, really good read from Hunter. I'm sure a lot of players would have just taken the free bomb plant after they cleared short on that A site, but Hunter's going to be able to show his brains in the clutch and keep Valiance alive for at least one more round. As a result, they've actually got a good buy behind this. It was money that was the problem in the last. This time they have a little bit more. It's a fast short play. No AWP here to shut it down. And oh dear, that is decimation as they dropped into the CT spawn. Already, Valiance with a couple of kills. And just like that, the A site's been opened.
Oh, it most certainly has. Vitality, they're already turning their heads to saving because the money's run out. And so this is how Valiance, if they were going to build back into this game, this is how you do it. You need to be keeping Vitality's money down low. We saw that was the key to their success back on Cash. That's why we see these players hunting over on the side of Valiance. Realistically, they don't have all too much to lose. As long as they're keeping, 3 players alive, then they can take solace in the fact that they're fine looking to the future. And they know that any one of these weapons they take away is worth its weight in gold. RPK, well, he'll be damned if he parts with this AK. He's really not too keen on giving it up. He's very fond of it. Will he suspect Esperanto back in CT? Yep. Well, that answered that question very immediately. Valiance in with the 12th. Vitality with no cash left in the bank. They do have that one rifle though, and exactly as you mentioned, sometimes that can be all it takes when you are sitting in this, map point scenario. One big play, one player to pop off, in a round where really you have no business winning.
At least they have overtime solidified, right? So worst comes to worst, you're playing there, but I don't think Vitality want to let it get that out of control. This is a 15-9, so a 3-round comeback so far. Pistols for Vitality, and while they've won this before on the B site, on the A site, that's going to be a little more tricky. Solo AK for RPK is at least starting to rotate around, and we've got the aggression in the B tunnels from MBK, so they know somewhat that this has to be an A play right now. Hunter going to spot both these players crossing, but will lose his life to RPK. And now the question for Valiance is, do we commit to this, or do we rotate back? And if they choose that second option, they'll be met with MBK in their spawn, in their backline. So Valiance, little do they know it, they're trapped in. Letney has to make a play to try and salvage this round, but RPK's still got this AK and he's still firing off on all cylinders. Jumping on the side, caught by the aggression on long, and that's the bomb as well. So Valiance looking good to take this round unless Alex has anything to show us.
Yeah, sadly all we get to see is that 13th round secured for Valiance. Map point. Well, it was once a real dream for Vitality. Things were looking so good. Now it's all kind of been called into question, and Valiance have started eroding down that money, grinding back into this game. Now the AWP's out on Zywoo. So Vitality do at least have that to fall back on. MBK going to get caught crossing, and he's been tagged down to a measly 47 HP. One thing to note as well, there's no kit over on this CT side, so in the event that that bomb goes down, they are going to be hard stuck for time. Interesting decision as well, because there was plenty of money to go for the utility, so they're favoring that instead of the kit, planning to never let this bomb get into a bomb site.
The worst part is if Valiance do win this round, Vitality are broken for the last of regulation. RPK, oh, they run through a smoke. Are you sure that's the play you want to pull at 15-13? He finds both kills. Esperanto with a crucial trade, but this is, well, not too far gone. Very, very much out of control for Valiance. They're a man down with a tagged up player on the AWP. That's been swapped over. And right now, even on B, Letney sitting on the other end of the smoke. That's spotted through the radar. I can imagine MBK going for the spam. More and more damage done by Vitality. And even Alex gets aggressive in the lower tunnel, so he can lock down this position. He can catch out Letney on the retreat. Now, Otto doesn't know, but the back is turned from Alex, so at least if he looks towards the under tunnels, he might be able to find him, but they're back to back, they're side by side. Oh, who's going to turn around first? It is going to be Alex, but he didn't see him. He just hears Esperanto instead, and that's worth it. Another free kill. It's just Letney left up, no bomb, 20 seconds, and 4 players to find this Vitality to bring us to a third map. They will close it out. It got very, very scary there towards the latter end with a 15-9 going to a 15-13, but it will be the victory for the Frenchman as we head over to Inferno for that third map of the series. Elimination on the line. Join us after the break to see who will be going home.